Welcome back to LimQ Plus, everyone. On this channel, I'm 100%ing Breath of the Wild by a bit every day until Tears of the Kingdom comes out, which is today. In 59 days, we have breached the 60-day barrier, and we are so close yet so far to the game. Yesterday evening, I was really inspired. I was actually watching Summoning Salt's most recent video, which I highly recommend. It's about Mario 3, the world record history for the 100% speedrun. Summoning Salt proving once again that he's just by far the best at making these world record progression videos. Like, no one is even close. His writing is really what makes it. It's incredible. And he's added so much good stuff to these videos, from like interviews to... It's just amazing. I can't praise it enough, essentially. Wow, this guy has a big range. And that really motivated me. I was really motivated watching that video, wanting to improve myself at speedrunning again. Now, I have been kind of grinding at the all quest speedrun category recently, which is I'm pretty good at now. I do want to get closer to world records, and I'm going to be grinding the category more for the rest of March. But in my mind, I was kind of going through just the potential of Breath of the Wild speedrunning in general. What categories could there still be? And I wanted to talk about some ideas that I still had, some of which are probably not going to happen because they kind of suck, but some of which are actually kind of interesting. And I was wondering if any of you had interesting ideas as well, because as much as we've played this game, and even though this game is over 6 years old now, and we've tried so many different things when it comes to speedrunning, maybe there's still some cool ideas out there. So I want to present the first two that I was thinking of, that are a little bit more reasonable, and then also a little bit more memeier ones, as you could probably see on the thumbnail. But first of all, one idea that I had, and I recently saw another YouTube video about this, is an all-armor speedrun. Now, this would be a no-amiibo speedrun, because you can only get all armor if you use the DLC, if you don't use amiibo. Otherwise, you do simply not have enough like slots to even get all of the armor. 1 second, this Korok seed is actually always really precise. Ah, there we go. You don't even have enough slots to get all of the armor. So it would have to be a no amiibo run, which is fine. I think it makes it obviously much better anyway, and it would be super RNG heavy otherwise. So let's say we're doing an all armor run with DLC, just because there's a lot of armor pieces and cool armor pieces that get introduced. Now, I love the idea of this run. I think it's really cool to do like a completionist collectathon, like speedrun, where you get all of the armor. If it wasn't for one particular problem, which is very unfortunate, and that problem is the Tunic of the Wild, or the Set of the Wild. In order to get the Set of the Wild, obviously you have to beat every single shrine. There's no shortcuts, no ways to get it early. So essentially you would end up having to do an all shrine speedrun, which these days is a little bit annoying because it has a lot of these buffered SCWs, Shrine Coordinate Warps. I talk about them all the time on my channel, and I've in my All Shrines No Runes video, I explained them in depth. These strategies are extremely unreliable and kind of annoying to do, and because of that armor set you would have to do them. Otherwise it would be really cool. You would only have to do the shrines where you get armor pieces, and some of them like across Hyrule. You would probably use the IST, inventory slot transfer glitch, to duplicate something like diamonds, to then sell them to be able to afford all of the armor and like mass purchase them everywhere. You would actually need some mon. You would have to talk to Kilton to get all of the monster masks and the Dark Tunic. You would need some gemstones to get all of the circlets and earrings in Gerudo Town. You would also need some luminous stones to get the Radiant set. Overall, I think it's a really cool speedrun if it wasn't for the Tunic of the Wild. Now, despite the Tunic of the Wild existing, I think it actually still has some potential. Unfortunately, I think it's way too complicated to route for a single person right now, which would be me. I don't know how many other people would be interested in a run like this, but it's very complicated these days to route speedruns like this because of the inventory slot transfer, and I just don't have the time to really commit to this, with Tears of the Kingdom being basically around the corner and all of the other plans I still have. But I think it's a great idea. Now, the second idea would be much easier to route, and I kind of was interested in your opinion, if you like this idea. And that second idea would be an all legendaries run. Now, that's kind of like a fun name that isn't necessarily very descriptive of the category. A better way to describe this run would be all unique weapons. And what I would basically, this would basically be an all dungeons run, where you also have to get the Master Sword, and you also have to get the Hylian Shield. The unique, like, champion weapons, like the Light Scale Trident, the Great Eagle Bow, the Boulder Breaker, the Gerudo weapons, the Master Sword, and the Hylian Shield. Now again, in general, this would basically be just an all dungeons run with some extra stuff, because in all dungeons you actually don't get some of these weapons. And then get the Master Sword and the Hylian Shield. You would probably get the Master Sword with the glitch. Because you wouldn't have enough hearts otherwise, and the glitch is much faster. And you would get the Hylian Shield and Hyrule Castle. Now, it doesn't sound super exciting in a way, because it's basically just all dungeons, but I mean, all dungeons is a good category, in my opinion. And not only that, but I think it's a cool twist on all dungeons. Specifically, if you have ever seen speedruns that get the Master Sword, I think they are really cool, simply because you get to use the Master Sword in the Ganon fight, which makes it quite fun. Like, the Master Sword together with Urbosa's Fury and stuff like the Boulder Breaker, it would make the fights very satisfying to do. And I think I would personally really enjoy it. But maybe some of you would be like, oh, this sounds really boring. This is basically just all dungeons. I wouldn't be interested. This would be much easier to route, because again, you can take the all dungeons route, then you get the extra weapons, you get the Master Sword, you get the Hylian Shield. Now, the third category I want to talk about, which is a complete meme, but I thought about yesterday. What a genius idea. I'm mad that I didn't think of this earlier. My first YouTube video that ever did well was a meme speedrun video where I invented the get late % category. I know I am a genius for it, but it was me. It was on my birthday in like 2020. Now, that was like my first YouTube video that ever did well, where I created that speedrun and like did it for the first time. And obviously because of the hilarious like name or whatever, but I thought about another one. Can you imagine? I thought about an even better one. Today on stream, when you see this video, I'm probably going to be live soon, I will be speedrunning all hoes. I cannot believe that I did not think of this idea before. Obviously, it's a complete joke, and I'm talking about getting all of the farming hoes in the game, which is going to be a speedrun that gets to Mount Satori and like Hateno, Kakariko quickly and collects all of the hoes in the game. But amazing. Really, really proud of myself. Definitely not 12 years old. Now, I do need to pay attention here for a second before I talk about the last speedrun that I think is really cool, and then I'm going to ask for your ideas in particular again. Ah, there's the flower. Let me quickly follow this flower chase. But yeah, okay, so I already talked about the all unique weapons, or like all legendaries. I like calling them legendary weapons. I guess you could say all legendary weapons, but then the thing is the Hylian Shield and the Daybreaker are not really weapons, but you get what I mean. Now, one other run that I cannot think of a cool name for it. I guess you could just call it Master Sword and Ganon, but it sounds like so lame. Is actually to just beat the game with the Master Sword. No, not like I did on my channel, where I only have to deal damage with the Master Sword. But it would basically be a Master Sword speedrun, like we have right now. But currently, in the Master Sword speedrun, you don't have to beat the game. I think the run actually gets better when you also have to beat the game after getting the Master Sword. Because again, Master Sword strats in Calamity Ganon and Blights are actually incredibly satisfying. So the speedrun would be, you beat the Great Plateau, you BLSS, like slide into Korok Forest, steal the Master Sword with the glitch, and then immediately go to Ganon from there, probably like a BLSS, and beat the game. I think it's really fun, and I know it shouldn't matter what a category is called, like who cares? It's me, I care. I feel like I cannot think of a cool, interesting name for this run. I guess it could just be Master Swords plus Ganon, but like how boring is that? Also, oh, there must have been a flint there? I'm not sure why the grass just started burning. Also, I talked about this before. I will start to collect more of these gemstones. Oh, I looked at the timer right now. I heard yesterday in the comment section that I'm always stretching these videos out to 10 minutes. I guess in the future I'm just going to stop talking so I'm not clickbaiting so much. I'm just joking. That YouTube comment actually didn't get to me. I talked previously about some of the comments that did get to me a little bit. That one didn't. I'm still not done though, because I want to get some more Korok seeds at least. Let me also quickly unmark these. I think probably after these ones is a good point to call it. Yeah, let me know if you have a good name idea for that run. 1, 2. Also, let's see if this works. Beautiful. This literally never works when I'm actually trying to do it in a run. And let me know some ideas as well. I was thinking, the problem is just so many cool run ideas in this game unfortunately kind of die in its tracks because of something, some hurdle. Like, it could either be it's hard to verify a run. I thought about an all enemy speedrun before, for example, where you have to beat one of each enemy, which is something that would probably never make it to the speedrun.com leaderboard because it's just a weird run to verify. Like, the fastest strats would be something like snipe, like a moblin from really far away, and then wind bomb away, ideally, right? And then you couldn't actually see if the moblin died or not. That's the problem. Like, there's no like quest at the end that will tell you, yes, you have achieved this goal. And that's usually not something that is done for speedruns. People like having a way to verify the run, like in all shrines getting the armor at the end, or in 100% like having the tracker at the end and like seeing all of the key items. And that's the problem with many runs like this all enemies idea. Other runs just are not really satisfying to do, like all weapons in general, getting all of the weapons once. The problem is most of the time you'll end up throwing weapons away just to collect another one. It's not very fun either. But yeah, let me know. I was thinking like the entire evening because I thought there's probably still some cool speedrunning potential for Breath of the Wild, but I will be obviously doing the best category right now. All hosts. Can't wait to see what time I'll get. But I will end it on this Korok seed. Hello, where did it go? Over there. And then tomorrow we'll defeat the 3 giants here. And make our way closer to Lurline and also the Eventide Island. Which I feel like I remember I've done before. No, I have not. Okay. I talked about it, I think, in a different video. But I haven't actually done it. Oh, and yeah, somebody told me I forgot the Korok seed over here. I need to change that. Anyway, I'm stretching out the video. I need to stop it here. We are at 88.91%. Thank you for watching. 59 days until Tears of the Kingdom. Tomorrow it'll be 58, and I'll see you then. Peace.